You're watching Premier League Goal Zone presented by Toyota. What a match, what a scoreline, what reaction here and scenes from the Manchester United players after they've gone to Anfield and beaten Liverpool in their own backyard by 2-1. And no doubt those Manchester United fans are still there at Anfield celebrating quite the win. Robbie Mustoe, Robbie Earle, Rebecca Lowe with you. What a game as well. So much to look back on. If you missed any of it or you just want to see it again, United fans, then here it is. Robbie, take it away. 62 seconds on the clock, 1-0.
Yeah, the quickest goal in the Premier League this season comes courtesy of Brian Mbeumo, who's been a real threat for Manchester United. It was a bit of a gamble by the manager. He dropped Chesko, who'd scored in back-to-back games, played Cunha. Well, here's Mbeumo running through, smashes it past Mohamed Dashvili and gets the goal. Now, there was some
score to get back into the team. You see the outstretched leg there of Dorgu, who's going to play on number 18.
Brilliant game of football, just wasn't Liverpool's day, but Manchester United win at Anfield for the first time in 11 matches in all competitions. They last won there in January 2016, and that is back-to-back wins now under Amram for the first time, and their first away win, their first win on the road since March in the Premier League. Let's get some reaction from the other dressing room, though. We've already heard from Harry Maguire. Here is Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, obviously you wanted desperately to end the losing run today. It hasn't quite happened. Why do you think not?
I think because obviously we conceded a very sloppy second goal. We worked so hard to get back into the game because we created opportunities to score the winner. But if you concede the second goal like that, obviously that's a disappointing part. And I think overall, if you look at the game, we were far too rushed. I think we were making wrong decisions at time, and that was also the moments where we were open if we lost the ball, and disappointed day.
Far too rushed because of the games you've lost, and almost trying too hard, maybe, do you think?
No, I think United was obviously very patient. They didn't press us that high. They didn't. They let us on the ball, and I think we made rash decisions at a time where obviously we had to stay maybe a little bit calm, but we still obviously created many opportunities to score and win the game. But the reality is that we lost, and it's an interesting time now that we have to stick together, and not only us as players, but together with our fans and everyone that wants us to win.
We haven't yet heard from Arne Slot. What do you think he'll say?
That his team have to do better. The chemistry isn't quite right across the team, and I talked earlier, there isn't one element of the team that's playing particularly well that you can hang your hat on. So defensive unit, the midfield unit, or the attacking unit. Yes, when you look at the highlights there's a lot of chances created. Obviously it's about finishing then, and the Gakpo header at the end almost sums that up. But I almost feel Bex like he's having the problems in his second season that I expected in his first. Like, he come into a club and there might be teething problems. He had none of that in the first season, yet that's 4 straight defeats now. That's a problem.
He almost has an embarrassment of riches of players almost, whereas last season he didn't have any options.
No, decisions to make, and the team has changed a lot. I think one thing, that just comes to mind is press conference either before the game or the last couple of days. He talked about all he needed was an extra 1 or 2% at both ends of the field. Like, he just wanted players just to track runners, which we didn't see in the first goal. And at the other end of the box, he thinks the play between the boxes has been good. He wants a little bit more effort, determination in both boxes. And today was a perfect example. Didn't get it. Both sides.
Let's hear from the opposing manager, shall we? Here's Ruben Amorim.
Well, Ruben, I'm conscious that the questions for you in these interviews are often quite dramatic. If you lose, it's a disaster. If you win, it's a transformational moment. Nonetheless, was that perhaps the biggest win of your time as Manchester United manager?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't mean a lot. It means today, but tomorrow is not going to mean a lot. It's 3 points, but it's a good victory. But I will do the same thing that I did in the last games, is try to see the game, try to, in key points we had some luck, but we fought for every ball. We lost our composure a little bit in the second half, but the most important thing, the spirit was there, and that is the beginning of everything. And sometimes you play more with the ball, and other days you play without the ball, but if you have the spirit, you can win any game.
I was going to ask you, what did you like most about it? But would it be that, the togetherness, the fight, the spirit?
The spirit, and the belief that, of course, we need some moments like to score first, saves from our goalkeeper, one shot on the post to start believing that we can win any game. But then you can feel it, any transition, some moments with the ball, the team starts believing that is possible. It was a good day, but now I'm concerned about Brighton.
Not already, Ruben.
Yeah, because I had 1 year of experience, so I will enjoy it. I'm not dumb. I have to enjoy these moments. But
you made a couple of decisions at the start of the game that I'm sure, if you'd have been stood here after a defeat, you'd have been criticised for. You brought Maguire in, and you went with that mobile front three. Just tell us a bit more about both those decisions, because clearly they worked.
It's a lack of a manager, so I was expecting that. So it's nothing new. So I get used to that. We just saw the game. We know that how important set pieces are, how important the guys that have more experience. Imagine that something happened in the beginning of the game against us. Harry Maguire has experience to help the other guys, and then Konate and Van Dijk, they like the confrontation. They like to fight. One of them goes to the ball, the other one make a second line. But you can sense that more or less all the transitions was Cunha. Cunha was so far from the centre backs that help us to take the ball.
So Ruben Amorim agrees it's the biggest win of his Manchester United career. Conversely, this has to be the lowest point for Arne Slot since arriving at Anfield. We hope to hear from the Liverpool boss next.